Hello and welcome to Take This TV, the television book club podcast where each week we watch an episode or two of our favorite shows and we talk about them with our friends in the fandom. That's you. Hello. I'm Carmen and I'm joined as always by the amazing Kimberly Woods. Hello.
Hello, hot potatoes.
This season we are watching Fallout.
And today we're on episode 5. It's called The Past. In the description, everybody wants to save the world.
So, spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, go watch it, then come back.
We'll be here
Welcome
waiting.
Back. So, off the bat, Maximus is bonding with Thaddeus. And there's that moment where he's like contemplating if he should tell Thaddeus the truth. And I was like, it's too late. you're in too deep.
You mean before he branded him or after he branded him? Because
after.
Yeah. I was
it's too late.
Why did you brand him and then tell him? Yeah, it's obvious that he's going to have to tell him at some point before he gets back to the Brotherhood because he has to take that outfit off sometime.
Yeah. I mean, the point when Thaddeus is like, you should brand me, that's when he should have told him. It'd be like, hey, man, I know we've been vibing, but just so you know. And he could have been like, what's his face? Titus, he just died. The bear killed him. I didn't kill him. But I guess like whenever a knight dies, I guess the squire has to also die or something like that. Or they kill the squire or whatever. So, because I think they're supposed to be like bonded for life or something like that. So this is the impression I got.
Oh, that's why they're saying you're going to get strung up. I thought that was just like Knight Titus being horrible.
Well, because Thaddeus said they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
But Thaddeus doesn't know what happened.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. He could have done a better job kind of like prepping this moment, like inserting stuff here and there about maybe his own disillusions with Knight Titus. Like, I don't know. Just like, something to warm it up a little bit, more of a nice charisma check. But he doesn't have
After 5 episodes, I've come to the conclusion that Maximus is an idiot. He's an opportunist and he's just trying to like get ahead because after he like tries to come clean and he steps on Thaddeus's leg, and I was like, with a metal suit, like, oh bro, your leg should be gone. But Thaddeus, like, I guess has superpowers and like he runs away. And like when they're looking for him, I'm like, how did he get so far on a smashed up leg? But
with the head,
yeah, like anyway. I was like, as soon as he got trapped in the suit, I was like, oh, Lucy's gonna come and save him.
Yeah,
I figured that was gonna happen.
Lucy hunting for the head comes across him. I like that moment, and we find a changed Lucy. Because she doesn't trust him at first. She's like, I don't know if I can trust you. I've had a rough week. Like, oh,
she's like, I really want to. Yeah. So but then, she's starting to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was starting to learn then. And then, they have that deal where she's like, how about, I help you find the head. And then you can just let me borrow some of those suits. And then we can go get my dad, 5 or 6 of those T-60s and some guns. That's our deal. Let's shake on it.
Yeah, just shake on it, Knight of Honor.
Yeah.
And then Maximus, he has a chance to start fresh with this person who could potentially be his girlfriend. And he lies again.
Yeah, he doesn't say his real name.
He says he's Knight Titus. He could have said Knight Maximus.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. Oh, man.
And again, how long does he think this is going to last? Because they're trying to go after Thaddeus. Thaddeus knows his name now, so he's going to have to face it eventually. Pretty soon, probably. So why even bother lying? She doesn't know much about the Knights.
She doesn't know anything about the world. So that's why I'm like, this guy is an absolute goober.
Yeah. She's just going to be disappointed yet again. I'm like, oh, here she is trusting him. Here he is lying. And then she in the episode, she starts out with this trust issue, but then very quickly goes back to, Vault 33 Lucy, okie dokie, let's go across
Okie
the
dokie.
bridge. I'm gonna be a peacemaker. Everybody hands up. We're gonna pass nice and easy now. But
Oh my
yeah, no.
gosh.
They were met with those fiends on the bridge, and then her moment of hope got shattered yet again in the Wasteland.
Look, Apocalypse and honestly, even real life 101. If you see people with sharpened teeth, they're gonna eat you up. You gotta get out. If their teeth are sharpened, you gotta get out of there.
Oh my gosh.
But Maximus is trying to get her to give him the gun. And in my head, I was like, so there's okay. This is a deep cut, I guess, now at this point in 2024. But at one point in time, this is a really popular game. There was this video game called The Walking Dead. It was like a Telltale version of that series. And in the second season of that series, there's a moment like this where you meet people on the bridge and like you're trying to cross or whatever. And it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? And I love this scene because I feel like it really this type of situation really forces you to see the characters like true intentions or whatever. Um, and it ends up being that Maximus was right, and thankfully he's able to outdraw those. I forget what he called them. What was the name of their
Fiends.
fiends? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a part of me that was like, Lucy, you just told Maximus that you don't trust him, or you don't know if you can trust him, and now you went all the way back to Vault Lucy with these
Yep.
strangers.
Very quickly. He made
Yeah.
her feel better about the world again, and she very quickly went back to Vault 33 Lucy and was disappointed again. But then we see her be Vault Lucy again later in the episode when we find out Maximus has been hurt, and she goes and sees this like Vault Tech research laboratory. Oh, like yeah, Hawthorne Laboratories. And she's like, I'm gonna go get you some medicine. And then she goes in. It's really funny because Maximus like stays outside for a while and it's like, no, what are you doing? So we only he follows after her, doesn't know where she is, sees this door that's marked medical supplies, and of course it's a trap. And I was like, oh yep, this is where Lucy went. She's probably already down there. Sure
You
enough.
saw it coming.
They both fell for it. Also, can I just go back to the moment when they decided to have their pact and they walk away and they chose to play The Saints Go Marching? I was like, this is perfect for these two.
Two idealistic people
Yeah.
trying to survive in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they fall and apparently it's a vault.
It looked like the Vault Dwellers suits looked like they had the number 4 on them, so it's not
Oh, is
the
it
same.
4? And
That's
I
what it
saw an
looks like.
A. I was trying to look in the reflection and
Oh.
I was like, does that say A? So
Well,
maybe
are there any
it's
what vaults are in the games? Are have any of the vaults from the games been in the show? I know that's
I
a big
don't
question. It's a lot of
remember
games.
what the number was. I feel like when I was playing it was in the hundreds, the vault I was
Oh,
in or
okay.
started it in. So there's all different ones, but yeah.
Okay. So
I
this
don't
it's not
know.
that.
I mean, I would assume that there would be more than just these 3 that had this arrangement in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what's the deal with this vault. Another thing in this episode that we learn a lot about is Vault 31.
Oh my gosh. Freaking Norm, Detective Norm is on the case. I really am invested in this plot line with Norm. I think that him discovering the sinister nature of what Vault 31 is interesting.
Yeah.
I thought at first when Lucy and Maximus ended up in a vault, I was like, are they in 31?
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, no.
No.
It's not that one.
Yeah, apparently we find out that through Norm's investigation, check, that in the records, every time there's a trade from 31, then at some point those people became overseers in Vault 33. And apparently, later on in the episode, we also learn that this was the case for Vault 32. So, Vault 31 was turning out these people who would then go over and take over the other vaults, and there was some sort of slogan that got started and that people still seem to believe in, which is, when things look glum, vote Vault 31.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't rhyme, but it is catchy.
What? Glum and 1, kind of. It's enough. Lyrically, kind of. It's enough. I've heard song
Okay.
lyrics that are worse than that.
It's true. It's true.
It's kinda.
And then some of them are hits. Yeah, so
Yeah.
no, you're right. But I mean, we learn also that not only is Norm's dad, Lucy's dad from Vault 31, so suspicious, but also Steph, their friend, who her husband died, and now she's shacking up with I want to call him Clint, but what's his name?
Oh, what is his name?
Clive. The tall
Uh,
guy, Norm's friend.
yeah, what is his name? Yeah.
I
Cousin?
forget. Some
Kissing
cousin,
cousin?
kissing cousin. Yeah, something with a C. But yeah, so she's from Vault 31 also. Steph is. And then, oh man, there's that scene. She's giving Stepford Wives vibes, because there's that scene when Norm asks her like, "Oh, what's so different or what's so special about Vault 31?" Because my dad never told me, trying to play it off, doing a bad job. Uh, he he rolled a nat one on deception, but I feel like she sees right through him. But she just plays it off, and it's like, "Oh, the potatoes are better." And like she has this look on her face, this like knowing look, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
And then
what?
he says, "That's what my dad used to always say too."
Trying to cover it up, yeah.
Like, ew, that's like
I
the
feel
thing
like
they told him to say.
she's gonna murder him. Yeah.
But also, we learned that Betty Pearson, who just got reelected as overseer, is from Vault 31.
Sweet Betty, who's been real
Sweet.
nice. She's like everybody's like sweet little grandma, caring about everybody. Oh, I'm just here to help.
Yeah. And after Norm does his investigation, she calls this like vault-wide meeting about discussing what's going to happen with Vault 32 and takes everybody over there, and somebody's cleaned up the vault.
Oh, I have a theory.
Except for the horrible crops. But, all the dead people are gone, all the writing on the wall's been painted over.
As if it was never there.
As if it was never there. But also, Carmen, why do people write on the walls, "We know what you did," when they're not on the, like, who's gonna read that on the other side of the
In blood. We know, so we need to take the time to like write this on the wall in blood. I was cracking up because the fact that Norm and kissing cousin get back, Betty catches them coming out of the corn, and she's like, "Where are you going?" And they're like, "Planting taters," or something silly. And so I feel like that was the moment where she knew that they were in the other vault. And so I feel like she did this purposefully to cover it up before they could tell anybody else. And I was like, "Oh man, Betty is dangerous."
Yeah.
Um, and Norm does get bold when they're over there, and he's like, he asks her, like, he says, "Good job cleaning up," or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Norm, you're about to die." Norm's
Yeah.
about to die.
Yeah. And she plays
So
this off pretty well.
I
Yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen.
But also during that conversation, he gets even more bold, and he was like, "Hey, what happened to my mom's Pip-Boy when she died?" And Betty's like, "Yeah, your dad and I, we buried it with your mom."
Which we know is
So,
probably not true because earlier Norm and kissing cousin found out that the vault door had been opened for the Raiders by his mom's Pip-Boy.
yeah. And it
Well,
really
and
feels like the mom's still out there somewhere. Like maybe mom found out about deceptive husband and was like,
ooh,
"I need to get out of here."
ooh, mom broke out. But the kids, forget them kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like that whole mystery. I mean, we always like had theories that like the vault tech stuff is kind of suspicious, but yeah, I'm curious to see what's happening down there. And it did seem like the
Yeah.
ghoul might know something about it because we saw that he was like the spokesperson.
We also get the title basically comes from a line that Maximus says when Lucy's like looking at what happened to his town. What is it, Shady something? In New California? I can't remember
Something
the
like
name of the
that.
town.
Yeah.
And she's seeing this big hole. And he basically says, everybody wants to save the world. They just disagree on how.
I was like, did they drop a nuclear bomb? Is that how they were going to save the world? Oh,
It's
okay.
like-
So the New Republic of California, is that from the games? Because to me, that felt like this is something from other Fallout material. And it's like that story happened somewhere else. And now it's like, oh, here's the aftermath of that story.
Maybe? I don't think I've played in California before. The ones I've played
Oh,
have
okay.
taken place like on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So at least in the ones I've played, I'm not sure. But again, it
I
seems like something very much of the games, which,
yeah.
means they're doing a great job adapting.
I don't believe that Maximus, as a little kid, went full Indiana Jones and survived a nuclear blast in a refrigerator. I was joking about that before, but in this episode, it seems like he's like, no, I was in a refrigerator and survived a nuclear blast. And I was like, malarkey. Malarkey, sir. I don't believe you. So I feel like maybe that there's like, I feel like the story is probably, I think he believes that, but I don't think that's what
Yeah.
actually happened. And so I'm curious if like, if there was an actual bomb that was dropped, or maybe the Brotherhood of Steel did some wild stuff and like, and they just told him that's what happened. So
They
I don't
might
know.
have. I mean, I feel like it's not fun. It's fun and awful to see both of their like visions of and their ideals get shattered by the Wasteland.
Oh yeah.
Maximus and Lucy. It's like, seeing like it chip away at it. So I'm interested to see like, when that happens for him in particular. I feel like he's starting to get it, but
Do you think he'll
he still
turn
has a
away
ways
from
to
the
go.
Brotherhood of Steel?
I mean, they're not going to accept him, so I feel like he's
No.
going to have to figure out his own way and his own ideals. And right now he's been clinging on to that so much, he needs his own, and that will be
Yeah.
fun to watch.
I'm curious to see what happens. Yeah,
Me
I think that like
too.
the Maximus Lucy ship, I love a chocolate
Lucimus!
vanilla. Lucimus, Lord Lucimus, yes. I love a chocolate vanilla swirl. So I was super here for that in the beginning. But I mean, I think Maximus is just like, he's too morally malleable. He's too like, he's too much of a, he's too selfish, I think. And so
Right
I'm
now.
not, well, right now, yeah. So I'm
He
not
needs to
about the
grow.
ship. He needs to grow, yeah.
Maybe if
In
he
order,
grows some more. Yeah, once he lied, I was like, ooh, that's hard. It's getting hard to ship this because that didn't need to be a lie. That was like a low bar to clear, and
just ask what his name is, yeah. He lies.
but if he has some growth during the season and actually like gains his own beliefs and ideas about the world, maybe I will be shipping them again. But yeah, he has a lot of growing up to do.
He does. He even has a chance to make up for it because he lies, and then there's that moment where Lucy is like, you know, you could have killed me and you didn't, and yada yada. He could have been like, all right, I'll come clean. I lied. My bad. Here's my real name. But nope, missed his chance. So we'll see what happens.
Now somebody else is gonna do it for him, and then we'll have to see Lucy's poor face and disappointment.
Poor Lucy. Constantly disappointed by the world.
But right now they're in a vault. So
Yeah.
they're getting sidetracked by bullshit, which is what
Yeah.
happens in Wasteland. That's
Yeah.
always been.
It's so funny because when Maximus got shot and he's like, oh, it's nothing. And in my head, I was like, no, it's not. And then later when he's like bleeding out or whatever, and she's like, oh, the head can wait. We got to go and get you some medicine. I was like, oh, a side quest.
It's always the medicine so far.
Yeah.
You know, first for the ghoul, now for Maximus.
Everybody's
And
getting
even
hurt.
Lucy had a moment where she needed the, rat away.
Oh, yeah, because she has
Yeah.
radiation poisoning from drinking the
Mhm.
water. Yeah. Eventually we'll get back onto the main quest, but
Yeah.
not yet.
But I am very curious about Vault A or Vault 4 or whatever vault this is and what they're doing, because we know they're up to something too.
We're going to find out. I still love this show, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Me too. Thank you all so much for joining us. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to leave us a review, leave us a comment. Follow us on the socials at Take This TV on TikTok and Instagram. And remember, it's dangerous to watch TV alone.